Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BetSperts. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molliner. And if there's something we just can't get enough of, it's going to be basketball today. Are you excited? Do you have the setup? How many monitors are we working with? What's the plan?
3 for now. We'll be jacking that up soon. I just haven't set everything up. But yeah, Bubba, basketball.
Give us,
Gimme
the ball.
the ball, because we're gonna dunk some bets. And yes, whether you love to do all the first half unders, if you have a system, if you love to hit the random, I know someone. I can't even remember who this was. The bracket leagues you fill out. I don't remember which bracket league it was, if it's ESPN or CBS or one of those lets you just hit like fill it out for me and it'll
Yeah.
fill out, it won't go ridiculous and like advance all the 16. It'll use some common sense, but it'll just throw a random bracket together. I used to do that sometimes and then just work from there. And I thought that was fun. But I saw somebody's like, well, I just do that. And then that's how I make my bets because it's going to be just as good as I normally do because I suck shit. And it's like, that's pretty funny. I did enjoy one years ago where it was like almost, oh god, one of those horrible online quizzes almost, where it's like, hey, would you rather walk with your partner next to the mountains or on a beach, one of those things, except it was basketball. Like, what do you think matters? If a team is really good at this and their opponent is really good at these three things, which one matters most to you? And you filled out a bunch of questionnaires, and it was all like basically betting into blind resume stuff on all the first round matchups, and then it filled out a bracket for you. I don't remember who did that, but those are fun. I just did mine based on, hey, there's not that many people in my pool, so I went chalky and ended up with I think you should usually end up with at least 2 1 seeds in your final four if you're in a smaller pool. That's kind of where I ended up. But I don't, Alex, did you enter anything fun outside of just some bracket pools and you're betting every day on every single game for BetUS
Pretty
or what?
much. Yeah, we got all the first half unders, stacked all those up, did your 12 to 15s, went in, did as many bracket contests as you can. And Andy, I just remembered that Money Bag existed. So let's see, $10, 48 to
Oh
1.
yeah,
Let's see.
you can do
Come
that. I'll pull
on.
it
Give
up.
me a good seat. Give me a good seat. Give me a good seat. And it's still going. This takes a while. Oh, Northwestern.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been Northwestern State.
I mean, I should definitely try
Um,
again. So I'm going to try that again and I'll let you know.
I essentially do that with some buddies back home, a money bag where you throw in $100 and you get two teams randomly. Someone did
Yeah, when did
draw
those get drawn? Do you know who your two teams are?
last night. So up this is great radio. But I will pull up my buddy just sends a picture of his computer screen with the spreadsheet in it. So somebody did get 16 seeds. Someone
Ooh.
drew FD and Howard. That's not great. Andy Muller drew UCLA and Louisiana. Not too bad. I could get UCLA has a chip chair and a chance, so I don't hate that. Yeah, money
Just got
bags.
Arkansas 48 to 1.
Oh, you did another one?
Yeah, I've done a couple.
Yeah, I don't mind the money bags thing. I usually do it with golf. I did forget to do it with golf. We'll talk some golf eventually. I'm not sure many of my guys have gone off. Actually, I'm sure they're still. I've done Masters. I have a Justin Thomas to win the Masters at a pretty big price, but this one is 48 to 1. So money bag for me is spinning, randomizing. I see some good names going by me.
I ended up
Hmm,
with a couple 5 seeds.
why is it taking so long? Oh God, I'm not even gonna say
St.
it anymore.
Mary's, San Diego State, and Arkansas are my best ones. That's not very
I,
good.
I have Howard.
Ooh, you did
So
worse than me.
I know. What are you gonna do? I support the HBSUs. So whatever. Let's or HBCU.
See, this
Sorry, I
is
got
where
the
we are,
acronym
man.
wrong.
It's not Christmas today. This is the best.
I know I don't feel like working today. I have a couple meetings after this too. It's gonna be struggle bus for Andy. I'd rather just be ordering some wings.
How could you
Hit
gotta move those?
now after it's gonna be wings, oil pen, 7 TVs, and there's a a thing on my chair where I can lean it back, put my feet up on the desk. That's going to be the ticket. So let's talk about the. I did mention the 12 to 15 things. A little bit of a weird spot with the unbalanced. I don't feel like this has happened a lot. Where
It
there's only
really is bothering me, and I know it bothers
yeah,
you too.
it's usually 8 and 8, which so my double up It's going to be even more expensive tomorrow if I do it. But I did bet these, and anyone who's just doing it the old-fashioned way and opening up 15 tabs knows what I'm talking about. You get faster at that, and the biggest thing you can do is using the control page up, page down that cycles through tabs. So you hit control page
Or do
up.
the bookmark folder where all your books are there and you can
Yeah,
open them
yeah.
at
So then you
once.
open 15 books at once. Control page down, moves over a tab. Control F. Furman. You find it. I did this for the first 6 teams, and then realized nobody, nobody was beating Bookmaker, and it wasn't close. So I think I'm just done shopping, and I'm gonna bet all these at Chris. I don't know who the best
Lowest
answer.
hold.
Yeah, I don't know who the best answer in the legal books are, but every single one of these lines was bet at Bookmaker last night.
I
So
wonder what their
Furman,
hold is. I'm going to look at that real quick.
it's lower. That's why it's getting a little better,
Like, I
a little
wonder if they're
better
down
odds.
below 3-4% at this point.
Some of the dogs, it depends how big the underdog is, but some of these dogs were close at other books. Like I bet a 207, it's 205 at Bet Online. Not a big deal, but I do like extra pennies. So Furman plus 2-1, Charleston 2-1, somewhere in there. Princeton, you should try to get 8-1. Oral Bob is 2.5. Colgate 7-1 ish. Louisiana plus 562, and UNC Asheville 1284. Big number on USC Asheville as they take on number 2 UCLA in the nightcap. True TV, 10 p.m. Eastern. That one starts. So I won't know if I'm really double dipping, because if that one hits, we're Gucci at that point. And then first half unders, and I don't do it blindly. I'll do it in the games where I think it actually has a really good chance. But like you said, so many people do it. There's so much money in on those. Those numbers do get a little depressed. No real hot takes on the brackets or how this is going to hash out today. I will say the biggest thing about putting the 12 through 15s in is just looking at it and laughing. Like, there's no chance. They're like, this team cannot beat Duke. Like, I watched this team play in their tournament. They're small and they don't shoot free throws well. They're just like, this team can't win.
NC Asheville,
And
10,
that's
10, 11 to
it's
1.
it's the same thing every year. I do that. You do that with every bet, and then you always end up with something fun like St. Peter's. Just like, Jesus, well, why are these guys playing so well?
Florida Gulf Coast.
Oral Roberts made sense a couple years ago. They had a really good player. Florida Gulf Coast, Mercer, Stephen F. Austin. There's always these fun teams like that. So enjoy it. Don't go too nuts. Bet responsibly. I don't put a ton of money on those because, again,
all small plays.
it is a degen system more than anything. Back to the league that some of these players will play in eventually. Most of them will not. The NBA tonight. The Timberwolves. I will get this off my chest. Fuck the refs. That was a really poorly officiated game, and they kind of got hosed 3 or 4 times. So just a lot of excitement in the Minnesota sports scene last night with the ref show, and then also the hockey game getting a little wild with Binnington coming out of the crease. He didn't just come out of the crease. He tried to hit a guy with the top part of his stick. It's like I'm the only guy ever take off a skate, try to cut somebody with it. So.
Try to kill somebody with it.
Yeah, so it got a little weird. Both goalies actually did come out. Fleury, I believe Fleury got a minor misconduct or whatever. I don't know the penalties, man. I don't watch hockey all that much, but yeah, Bennington's a bit of a knob dick, a bit of a hothead. So we'll go to a much calmer sport where there's never any drama. Nothing bad ever happens. Nobody's waving guns around on Instagram and getting in trouble. It's funny, like you brought up the Washington Wizards stuff. It's like there's precedent for this. It's like shit, man, there is. So just I'm guessing everybody's in action tonight. All 15 games are up.
No, it's a quiet night. I'm actually not even sure. I said yesterday it was TNT Thursday. It was not. Yesterday it was Wednesday. Today is Thursday, and my guess is that TNT will be running college basketball. None of these NBA games tonight, but 5 games on the slate. 4 that I didn't bet. Nuggets, Pistons. I might bet the Pistons at some point. The Nuggets have just been awful. This opened at 13.5. It was 13.5 when I woke up this morning. I thought about betting that. It's out to 15. So I'm just going to watch this and see how high it gets. I might sprinkle a little bit on the Pistons, who, maybe the Nuggets are just again, just kind of a mess. I don't think that they deserve to be that big of favorites, even against a terrible team like that. The Kings won last night against the Chicago Bulls. Our Bulls pick. They were unable to close it out last, but again, ultimately good for our under ticket. The Kings now on a back-to-back going to Brooklyn as small underdogs here. That tells me that we're going to see some Kings players rest tonight. Maybe De'Aaron Fox, some guys like that. So be careful on that one. The Pacers have basically shut it down. I think that they're just going to try to lose every single game at this point. Miles Turner looks like he's out tonight. Tyrese Halliburton looks like he's out tonight. Just no effort to try to push these guys at all. So you've got the Bucks as huge favorites. That makes sense. And then our Magic, big underdogs to the Suns. That makes sense. Even without Kevin Durant, the Suns are a much better team. But an underdog I do like quite a bit, and the number is actually moving. You guys are going to get a better number than me on this. The Toronto Raptors are 6.5-point favorites now at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know the Thunder generally are a team that's much better at home, but again, this matchup is really great for them. This is a team that plays hard every single night. They're fighting. They're in the play-in at this point. Looks like they might get the Lakers in kind of that first playing game, but can continue to push up. It's a really close race, and this is a great team. A lot of very good perimeter defending, which is exactly kind of what you need against this Toronto team that doesn't have a lot of guys that attack the rim. I mean, Jakob Poeltl's been great as a big man. I mean, he should be able to kind of get whatever he wants tonight. That's going to be the real problem for Oklahoma City, is trying to slow him down. But in any of the minutes he's not on the floor, I think the Thunder can win those minutes comfortably, honestly, given some of the lineups they have, some of the advantages they have in terms of depth. It's hard to think of it as a team that's deep, but when you have just a bunch of young guys like that, you just keep rolling through guys, and they've been pretty solid. So I like this matchup for them. My numbers had this closer to 3.5, 4. So I played actually even some 5.5 earlier this morning, looking at 6.5 right now. So go ahead and scoop that. Let's get some Thunder as we continue our underdog day.
Under. All right, I just did another money bag, and I got Arizona. I feel a little better. Because Arizona
That's a nice one.
They are a 2 seed. I'm guessing their price is somewhere in the,
let's see.
Probably 20, 25 to 1, something like that. Maybe less than that. I'm not super sure. All I did was I opened up my book. I looked for Texas
15.
and 15. All right, got Arizona at 48 to 1. So kind of makes it. We'll just forget that the Howard thing ever happened. Oh, you can do regions at 12 to 1 too. God damn.
That's true with the Howard. It's really
most outstanding player 51. Oh man, Andy's gonna be chipping away at his my bookie balance this afternoon, isn't he? Okay, golf is underway. Yeah, there is some golf happening right now. Turned out Martin Laird was a bad choice. I ended up actually matchups are a little rough at the moment. It's early. Things take some time to shape themselves out. But boy, I bet on a guy in a matchup today that's 4 over already. He is not playing well. The golf course isn't playing too tough because the wind is down, but there has been some struggles with the rough. You do see, like it was mentioned on the golf show on Tuesday with Ryan, the fringe, Alex. I think maybe even talked about it here. The fringe was lessened. So like if you run off the green, but just by a little, a lot of time you ended up in that fringe because it was like 6 or 7 feet of it around some of these greens. They tighten that up in a lot of spots. So if you're running off these greens or just barely missing the green on approach,
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, you're ending up in the tall stuff, like 3.5 inch rough that is, basically 2 feet from the edge of the green. So you've seen a lot of people having to bust out the 54s and the 60s when they're, within spitting distance of the pin there, not below the hole. So it's been fun. I do have one this afternoon. I bet Mr. Lipsky. This is another one too where just better iron player, better ops gained guy, a lot better around the green. Because I'm starting to look at some of that, I think it's really going to matter, as I just kind of alluded to with all these, the near misses on the greens aren't just I'm going to hit my putter anyway because I'm in this little bit of a barely, what do you call it, the fringe? It's probably 3/4 of an inch, something like that. So you're going to have to bust out the chipping a little bit more, and I think that's going to matter here. But just a much better tee to green player. And truly, usually I end up with this like, hey, I have a guy who's a better ball striker. He's much better tee to green. He's much better on approach. And then I get to it and I say, Yeah, but the other guy I'm betting against is a really good putter, and my guy can't putt. Both of these men, Lipsky and Merritt, horrible putters. Neither of them is even in the top 100 as far as rank in the last 50 rounds here with this field for strokes gained putting. So both bad putters, but I have the better approach tee to green golf here, getting minus 110. Felt pretty good about it. That's the only one that starts this afternoon. And yeah, we'll try to pay attention while basketball's on.
Yeah, I won't watch a single second of this. I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah, I have it on now, but that's because there's not. It might not be on the big TV anymore.
Maybe get it a small monitor. Have like the extra iPhone. You can put it on there.
Oh yeah, I stole one of the kids' iPads. Well, they can't
That's
use
good.
it. They need to be doing chores. Farm ain't running itself.
Good for them. I like that. That's way to go. Good fathering. Gonna really take advantage of.
Yeah,
Speaking of things I won't be watching, with
I
all due
bought it.
respect. Yeah, that's true. You did. It is yours. Anyway, speaking of things I'm not going to be watching, I probably won't see any of the tennis today. There is a couple fun matches. I'll probably score watch and maybe jump in if Rybakina Mahova is close. But two matches today, the last two quarterfinals. Maria Sakkari and Arina Sabalenka won their respective quarters there in the semifinal. That'll be tomorrow. But again, today you got Mahova, Rybakina. I thought about maybe a first set over there, but all those numbers looked about right. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's keep going back to, what has been the easiest bet now for the last 3 weeks, and just take another Iga Swiatek under. She continues to just absolutely demolish players. I mean, Bianca Andreescu played some of the best tennis she's played in a couple years, and that match, still ended up being, a 2-0, not really that close as she had leads, I believe, in each set. So, Iga got back to things, put away her next opponent, Raducanu, really comfortably, and goes against Sorona Kiersteya this afternoon. Kiersteya, a nice player, someone I like to back in some of these smaller events, but I should just get absolutely run over. And I prefer to play the unders here because if you look at the market, you've got under 18 at standard juice basically, or you can lay 6.5 minus 125. So, you're looking at a loss in, I think, more cases than not with that spread than you are the total. Yes, if there is some way that this does go 3, that you still have a chance to sort of backdoor it there a little bit with the spread, but it's so hard for me to conceive again of a spot where the 6.5 or the 7 covers and we're not going under this number. So I'd rather take the extra breathing room. Again, at 6.4, 6.4, I get a push. Even 6.4, 6.3 is a win for me. That's a loss for anybody with this 6.5, this 7. I don't understand sort of that correlation. So happy to just keep playing the unders here. Again, under 18, I had this closer to 17. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's go.
Cirstea. I'm trying to think of her first name. I was about to yell something.
Sorona
Country, let's ride.
Woo!
I haven't yelled that in a while. So, what time is this? Is this an evening match because it's a bigger name?
3:30 in the afternoon. 2:30 your time.
So
there'll be 4 college basketball games on.
So it's like noon out there. It's kind of probably first up in the order of play. That's dumb.
Well, actually, second. There's an early match. They got an 11 a.m.er.
People got to get there early to watch her. That's kind of lame. Well, I guess they kind of assume too. Hey, who's coming out this afternoon? They're gonna watch basketball. It's crazy too. Again, I'm so used to watching this on the West Coast that I did look at that. I'm like, how do they start a game at 10 p.m.? Is that new? It's because the shit starts at 8 p.m. in Vegas. So, or earlier. Am I looking at East Coast times here? I wonder. Yeah, that starts at 7 in Vegas. Like that shit's done. We always used to. It's still.
There's 9 a.m. basketball.
You make your reservations at the steakhouse and you hope that last game doesn't go into overtime. Although it did one time. One time we had nice reservations and a buddy had too much money on the last game and he's like, I'm not coming to dinner. He's just like, I have to stay. I can't go eat and like not know what's happening in this game like every buck. And I'm like, that's fine. Just stay in the sports book. We're going to Vic and Anthony's, guy. So
we'll get you some takeaway.
And good news. So more good news. I got my Arizona 48-1 ticket. That's great. Also in the company Slack, my 11 o'clock meeting canceled. Wasn't much to talk about today. Boom, boom. Just everything's coming up Millhouse. Look at me. Thrill House. That's my favorite part.
Thrill House, baby.
So, yeah, I'm gonna see which company can deliver me wings the fastest. They will win my money for the day. And yeah, we are 25 minutes away from tip in West Virginia, Maryland. Let's go. Big dance tournament time. See you guys.